What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Calcio Ebbasta with Giovanni, myself, Luca. Previous episode, we just gave a quick rundown on one of my favorite players for Juve, Asamoah, and now we're just going to shift the chat to Gio's favorite player.
Yeah, so we're going to take one look into someone from the past from Napoli. Like I said in the previous video, real quick, we're going to keep doing this every week. We'll take someone that you may not know of. It might not always be our favorite. It might be a meme player, anything, just to make it fun. Bring up some memories from our clubs, because this show will also have you and Napoli content. It's not going to be just always on, Calcio itself. But for me, on the first one, I would like to pay some respect to El Pocho Lavezzi, because when I was younger, I started watching Calcio probably around the time Italy won the World Cup. So that's literally like 2006. So the year after is when they ended up buying Lavezzi. So for me, like being introduced to Napoli, and obviously they had just come back from Serie B. So getting someone like Lavezzi, obviously who maybe wasn't as known because he was coming from Argentina, coming into the club was something special. I always liked the fact that he was Argentinian and he played with a lot of weight on his shoulder, because when he came to Napoli, he scored his first league goal. They're like, oh, the new Napoli star is born. And when you're Argentinian and you play for Napoli, who's there? It's Maradona, right? So it's like it's always comparison.
Yeah, everyone's going to get compared.
You're not going to come anywhere close. You'll never see someone like that again. But, that's the weight he carried. And you have the trio historically that they think about for Napoli, modern trio, Lavezzi, Hamsik, Cavani. But mainly people think about Cavani and Hamsik because they scored so many goals. And obviously, Lavezzi had multiple goals himself. But he would play as like a winger. But what I really liked about him, just to say, something in general about his playing style, I loved his drive. He just played with energy every time. He whether it was arguing with referees or just like throwing himself on the ground, his style of play, wearing his long shorts over his knees, like it was just always something about him that was always something to watch. And I think he brought a lot of joy back to Napoli after they came back up.
Lavezzi definitely. I mean, it's easy to say, you're from Argentina, you play for Napoli. It's easy that the first person you're going to be compared to was the all spot. Lavezzi definitely made the whole city, like the whole Neapolitan culture, just fall in love with him. But I mean, I know you fell in love with him. What was one of your favorite moments?
I mean, what I was going to say, especially for this, is because when I was mentioning his style of play, I like the way that he always deployed as more of a winger for us up to on the right side, but then you could see him roam around everywhere. Like in the game, he'll end up on the left side, he'll end up central. Like he was a playmaker, maybe not as consistent as someone knew he could be. He had a lot of potential. But I remember specifically like Napoli finally, obviously, like I said, coming back from Serie B in the 2006 season, 2007 was, I think 2006. And then obviously working their way up the table each year. And then they finally get back into the Champions League.
Yeah.
And we had the home game against Chelsea, which unfortunately we didn't end up winning the tie. We ended up losing on aggregate because of the second game was ridiculous. But the home game of that leg of that tie, the fixture, we had a 3-1 win. He scored 2 goals in that game.
I remember that game.
He scored one great goal from distance, from the center outside the box. One with the nice pass. I think it was Cavani slipped him in. He was a wide open net. But
Cavani slipped him in. Yeah.
But just, when is Napoli going to beat Chelsea? Like that Napoli back then, you don't think of it like that. You know what I mean? I mean, you had the Cavani, Hamsik, and Lavezzi trio, like I said, but it's still Chelsea were like, one of the big Prem clubs, one of the big players in Europe. Yeah. You didn't even think you would get, a couple goals or one win exactly. But I think that same year, if it was around that time, we were playing Manchester City well as well. But that stood out. And later that week, he scored the winner against Inter as well. And I think at that point we were like 5th in the standings, but that's Europa for us. So that point, he was incredible. I really enjoyed watching it.
It's crazy though, because when you speak to people about El Pocho today, everyone will speak to you about, he was great for PSG. He was great with Ibra and Beckham and Matuidi in PSG. But
Cavani.
When I see Cavani too, but when I hear El Pocho Lavezzi, the first thing I think of is the Napoli shirt, the classic Napoli shirt with the Lette sponsor. I don't think of like PSG or him playing in China.
Yep, and those jerseys back then were the looser ones, like they were just loose fit, and he always, obviously like El Pocho came from him being like the chubby guy or whatever. And it was funny when he first came up, it was like, you know, he didn't look in shape, but he ended up getting like ripped. But regardless, that's just the funny thing. But El Pocho like became symbolic, like you said. He's like one of the first players that Napoli treated from, I mean, in obviously my time, like modern time, like a Mertens, like someone that really became beloved and they loved him. So
yeah, he was like
the songs, even the songs.
Of
There were
course.
so many El Pocho songs. Like I remember my father going around the house and we had a little thing like that played music and there was a Lavezzi song. Like what is that? You know,
Lavezzi was class, man. The energy he brought. I remember that tenacity too. Now that I think about it, I think it was the game Napoli Cagliari. The ball had gone out or something, and Lavezzi went and he just kicked the ball as hard as he can to get it out the field, and he hit Allegri, I think, like in the side, and both benches collided. But that just took the energy that this guy brought.
Oh, that's how he played all the time.
He was a fighter. He was in any aspect. He was a fighter.
And that's why I had so much respect for him back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, like you guys on Napoli Twitter that might follow me, you know Lavezzi, but like Lucas said, some people forget. Like he had more, I believe he had more goals for Napoli than he did PSG, at least in league play. So like just and the amount of appearances and just the presence he had, no, he was special to me for sure.
Yeah. Well,
but
what a better way to end it, bro. So I mean, guys, thanks for being with us. We're gonna try to keep this going often, just picking one of our favorite players each week. Fortunately, Dan couldn't be with us tonight, but I'm glad to have you guys here and hear what we had to say.
Yeah, I would have liked to see what he would say about Lavezzi. I know he loved him too. But yeah, regardless, thank you guys though for checking us out. You know, when we do these things, comment down below who your favorite person was or one of your favorites from our club's histories. I know a lot of you are Napoli or Juve fans anyway, two big clubs in Italy, obviously. So let us know too if you see this on Twitter, TikTok, whatever. Give us a comment about what you think about these players. So Calcio Ebbasta TM on TikTok and Twitter, where you'll see the shorts versions of this and the full length on Calcio Ebbasta on YouTube. And again, thank you guys for supporting us, and we'll keep it going though, for real. Thank you guys, and we appreciate it.
Thanks for being with us, guys. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.